Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Tuesday market webcast. Okay, so we talked yesterday about an opportunity for the bulls. They had engaged, and it's still active, the upper band ride there on the daily chart. You can see they've interacted with the yellow line up there twice after holding the daily midband for a few days. Bears came in yesterday, and they had a day. They put together a day. They didn't take out daily mid yesterday, but they covered a lot of ground. 42.38 back to as low as 72. They really slammed it on the close. And one of the things I've always looked at over the many years I've done this is who's controlling closes. And the Bears certainly controlled the close yesterday. They fought off a bounce from the weekly pivot back into the roundy at 4,200 and slammed it down below the pre-FOMC price at 41.77. That's fairly impressive. But it's only impressive if the Bears take this opportunity and run with it. So they've had a good night. We're down, 0.9%. About 36 handles. Low is 41.4475. We're below. We are below the daily mid-band. And, a couple of more decent pushes, it can get back to where it showed monthly pivot support back on Tuesday. So right now, the biggest issue is the Thursday low at 41.40 half. We're coming back in to kind of test that area. So look, I said yesterday that I didn't want to hear about anything relevant having to do with the Bears unless they could convert the weekly pivot. We're below that now. So they slammed it on the close. They sealed off the 9-day and the pre-FOMC price overnight. They came back up from underneath about 3 in the morning right on the Europe Open, tested daily midband from underneath, and then made a lower low relative to here. Sorry, that's bouncing around. That's all. That's good price action. That's impressive price action. That's what the Bears should be doing if they're going to be in control. So we had these tightened up bands here on the hourly. Those spilled to the downside. You had tight bands on the daily chart, and you still do. But, head fake up, band ride down. So we're going to have to see how 41.40 reacts down into the monthly pivot. But the Bears overnight have done everything right. They've done everything right. And as long as they keep these areas sealed off, they have a real good chance at going back towards this 41.20 half, converting that monthly pivot and starting to bring it in. Now, in any down market, there's always going to be rallies. And how the Bears react to those rallies, we'll see. But, this is the classic situation that we've seen where we go up for a while, the Bears have a good overnight, and then we see, what the day brings. The Bears have got to follow through. They have to hold these areas that they've taken out overnight. Daily pivot, weekly pivot, 9-day, pre-FOMC price, daily mid-band, the 20-day. They have to hold them. They have to hold them on a closing basis and keep price down here. Otherwise, it just, at some point this week, it's another dip buy and off we go. So the people that always scream and squawk about sustainable downside, it's going to end, it's coming. All right, I get that. Of course it's coming. Everything, everything is eventually. But if you want this to be your moment, this is step 1. Okay? Step 2 is closing below this stuff. Step 3 is converting the monthly pivot. Step 4 is holding that. And then can you do like 3 days where you work back into something like the 50-day? I mean, if you can, that's great. Then we can talk about sustainable downside. To the extent that you don't, to the extent that you let 5-handle pops turn into 25-handle pops, you're exposed. And the dip buyers come in and we end up playing our game kind of like we did over here. So the Bears are doing great, but this is like step 1 of a lot of steps, and they need to keep it up. if you're going to see sustainable downside. Okay, what do the bulls need to do? Well, first of all, I'd wake up. I would wake up. And after you do that, at a minimum, you got to take the daily mid back today. At the minimum, you need to take this back. This is 50 handles. I don't know if you've got it in you. I think the upper band rises off the table. If it's not, it's going to be a hell of a long today. But step one is get that 20-day back to being converted. So it's going to be an interesting day and an interesting rest of the week. It's great trading. Good vol. It was a great way to start the week yesterday for us. All right. Everybody have a fantastic day. Be safe, be healthy, take care, trade them well. Come check out the room, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princetontrader. Check us out on Facebook, and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.